All right, buckle up everybody, because we're about to unlock some serious cosmic secrets in this deep dive.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
We're diving headfirst into Opening the Akashic Records, a book by Maureen J. Germain.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, it's a total trip. Think like soul blueprints, guardians of ancient wisdom,
Okay.
past lives, the whole shebang.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
So first things first, what are these Akashic Records anyway? The book describes them as a living, energetic field. Like, it's not a physical book. You know, you can't just check it out from the library.
Right.
It's more like this vast, ever-changing ocean of information about every soul that's ever existed.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty powerful image right there.
Right. And Edgar Cayce, the famous psychic, he called it the Book of Life, which I think really captures it,
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it. We're talking past lives, present circumstances, even potential futures.
Yeah.
All supposedly held within this energetic field. It's a lot to take in.
It is. It is.
And the book claims that accessing the records is a cosmic dispensation.
Oh, okay.
Meaning it's a special privilege that's not always available. I find that so intriguing. Like, why now? Why are they open now?
That is a great question. It certainly adds to the mystique.
Yeah.
Speaking of mysteries, the book also introduces some pretty fascinating beings who supposedly oversee these records.
Okay.
These are the gatekeepers.
All right.
There's the great divine director, described as kind of like the overseer of life on Earth. Then there's Sanat Kumara, a figure of immense spiritual authority. Some even believe that he's depicted in the Sistine Chapel.
Wait, are you serious? Like as God the Father?
That's what the book suggests, yeah.
That's wild. I mean, it makes you think about the connections between like ancient art, religious traditions, and these hidden realms of knowledge. It's fascinating.
Exactly.
And then there's the goddess of liberty, who supposedly has an etheric retreat right above Grand Central Station in New York City.
Above Grand Central.
Above Grand Central. So we're not just talking abstract concepts here.
No.
These are beings connected to real places on Earth.
I love that the author's drawing those connections between, the spiritual and the physical.
Yeah.
Showing that these dimensions are really intertwined.
Right.
But it's important to remember that accessing these records isn't just as simple as like booking a train ticket to Grand Central.
Right.
The book's very clear about the importance of approaching this with the right intentions.
Right.
There are even warnings about those with negative motives trying to access them, really emphasizing that ethical dimension.
It makes sense, right? If this information is as powerful as the book claims,
absolutely,
it's not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
There need to be safeguards. And this is where things get really interesting. The author uses a pop culture analogy to explain how our interaction with the records can actually impact them.
Oh, are you talking about the Back to the Future analogy?
Yes.
I love that one.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
Remember how Marty almost fades from existence?
Yeah.
Because he interfered with the past?
Right.
It's like such a fun and relatable way to illustrate, a very complex concept.
Yeah.
It's basically saying these records aren't static. They respond to our presence.
Right.
We have a responsibility to approach them with respect and awareness.
I love that. And it also brings up that idea of time not really being linear.
Yeah.
Something that the book really explores in depth.
Totally. It challenges that whole idea that time is linear and suggests that past, present, future
it's all connected.
Are all interconnected. Okay, so we've got these powerful records overseen by these cosmic beings.
Right.
And we have to be super careful about our intentions.
Absolutely.
But how do we actually access them? It can't be as easy as just, deciding to take a peek.
No, it's definitely not that simple.
Right.
The book provides a specific sacred prayer for opening the records.
Yeah.
Emphasizes the importance of ritual and intention. And this is interesting. The author specifically says this prayer should be read aloud, never memorized.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
I think it's about staying present.
Okay.
Really engage. When we memorize something, it's easy to go through the motions.
Yeah.
But reading it aloud requires a different level of focus and intention.
That makes sense. It's like you're actively invoking those energies with every word you speak. And there's this whole section on clearing negative energies and entities, even before you even attempt to access the records.
Right.
It mentions techniques like using a stainless steel knife to cut around the body.
Oh, yeah.
Which honestly sounds a little spooky to me.
Yeah, I can see how that would be a little unnerving.
Yeah.
But the author's really emphasizing that need for spiritual hygiene,
Right.
Creating that sacred space for this work.
Yeah.
And there are even details like avoiding alcohol or drugs before accessing the records, using crystals.
Oh, right.
Like Faden quartz to kind of help facilitate that connection.
And you know what my favorite detail is, even though I still find it so strange?
What's that?
The book insists on keeping your eyes open while working with the records.
I know. It's so counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
You think of, meditation and all that stuff and your eyes are closed.
Right, exactly. But she believes it's essential for grounding, staying present in both the physical and the spiritual realms.
Oh, interesting.
Simultaneously.
Like walking a tightrope between two worlds.
Yes, exactly. And before we even attempt to access these records, the book emphasizes the importance of developing a strong connection with your higher self.
Okay, yeah.
So let's talk about that. What exactly is the higher self? And how do we connect with it?
Yeah, the higher self is often described as the wisest part of you. The aspect that's connected to divine guidance and your soul's purpose.
Okay.
Think of it like your inner compass, always pointing you towards your highest good. It's not about, fortune telling or getting quick answers.
Right.
But about aligning with that deepest truth.
Yeah, that definitely resonates with me. So how do we tap into that inner wisdom?
Well, the book outlines this two-step process. First, you establish clear signals for yes, no, and neutral responses.
Okay.
These could be physical sensations, mental images, or even sounds, anything that feels distinct
Okay.
and meaningful to you.
So it's like creating a personal language.
Exactly. Then comes the practice, a dedicated 45-day period where you ask your higher self a specific question every day, meticulously following the guidelines in the book.
So it's not a quick fix.
No, it's a commitment
To commit.
to cultivating that deeper relationship.
Yeah, with your inner wisdom.
Exactly.
So once you've established that connection, what kind of information can you actually access through the Akashic Records?
Oh, this is where things get really exciting.
Okay.
The book claims that the records can provide insights into a vast array of topics, all related to your soul's journey. Past lives, relationships, current challenges, your purpose.
Wow.
Even the nature of your emotions.
Okay.
It's like having access to this cosmic library of your soul's experiences.
There's almost too much to even grasp.
It is a lot.
It really is.
Do you want an example of how this information might be helpful?
Yeah, I'd love an example.
Okay. The book shares a story about a woman named Louise who was struggling with her adult daughter.
Okay.
Her daughter was refusing to leave the nest.
Yeah, I've heard of that happening.
It's a common situation, right?
Yeah.
Louise was frustrated, kept asking her higher self for guidance, but nothing seemed to work. Finally, she turned to the Akashic Records for a different perspective.
So she's basically asking the records to help her understand her daughter better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And according to the book, the records revealed that Louise's daughter wasn't being, lazy or entitled, as Louise had assumed. She was actually terrified of venturing out on her own, despite having a good job and financial security.
Oh, wow.
It was this deep-seated fear that Louise had never even considered.
That's incredible.
Right.
So it helped her see beyond her own frustration.
Yes.
And understand her daughter's perspective on a much deeper level.
And it gets even more interesting. The records also showed Louise that despite her daughter's fears, she would always be there for Louise. This created this wave of compassion and understanding, and their relationship totally transformed.
Wow, that is such a powerful example of how accessing the records can actually shift our perceptions.
Right.
And even heal relationships. It's not just about, uncovering past lives or hidden secrets.
It's about understanding ourselves and the people in our lives.
On a deeper level.
Exactly. And beyond these personal insights, the book also introduces a concept that challenges those traditional ideas about karma.
Okay, hit me with it.
It's called no karma.
No karma. Okay, so we're not bound by our past mistakes. That sounds almost too good to be true.
That's what the book proposes.
Okay.
It claims that we're no longer burdened by that weight of past actions.
Wow.
It's like the karmic slate has been wiped clean. The author even shares a message from the great divine director, one of the beings overseeing the records. He says, "There is no need to keep score anymore. Take each moment as it comes. Let go of your wounds."
That's a really profound message.
It is.
It suggests that we're moving from this framework of punishment and retribution
Yeah.
to one of forgiveness and liberation.
Exactly. A chance to start fresh,
Yeah.
unburdened by the past.
It's really an amazing thought.
It is.
But before we get too carried away with no karma and potential futures,
Okay.
I'm curious about the author's own journey.
Yeah.
The book is full of personal anecdotes and mystical experiences that led her to these Akashic records.
Right.
It adds a whole other layer to this already fascinating topic.
It does.
And it makes you wonder if these are experiences that are unique to her, or if there's something we can all access.
That is the question.
Right. Let's dive into some of those stories.
Okay, let's do it.
The author describes receiving a message in a lucid dream
Okay.
that led her to an astrologer
Wow.
who told her she was being granted access to the Akashic records.
What an intro.
Talk about an introduction, right?
Yeah.
It really speaks to the mystical and serendipitous nature of this whole path.
Totally.
Then there's her experience in Japan, where she believes she actually encountered Sanat Kumara, one of the record keepers we talked about.
Wow.
She even visited a monument that's said to be his landing site.
Wow.
It's like she's weaving together her own personal experiences with ancient myths and spiritual teachings.
It's a beautiful tapestry.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have to tell you this one story. This might be my favorite.
Okay.
She describes a woman who had this intense pain in her chest, like a shard was stuck in her heart.
Oh, no.
When she finally managed to remove it, energetically, of course,
Okay.
it turned out to be a crystal.
Wait, what? A crystal?
A crystal.
Oh.
And this crystal was supposedly holding a hidden record.
That's amazing.
Right. It's almost like a symbolic representation of the emotional baggage we carry and these hidden truths waiting to be revealed.
Absolutely.
But that's just a glimpse into the author's personal experiences and this mystical nature of the subject.
Right.
There's so much more to uncover,
Yeah.
especially this whole Mary Magdalene mystery that she delves into.
Yes, there is.
But that's for next time.
I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat here.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Welcome back to our Akashic Records deep dive.
I'm so glad to be back.
You know, when we left off,
Yeah.
we were talking about crystals, hidden records, the author's personal journey.
Right.
It really sets the stage for this idea that there's like this whole universe of knowledge just waiting to be accessed.
It's mind-blowing.
Okay.
But you know me.
Yeah.
I'm all about the practical stuff.
Okay.
So let's talk about how we can actually access these records.
Okay, sure.
The book goes into detail about specific techniques, the importance of ritual, preparation.
Right. The author provides like the step-by-step guide.
Okay.
Really emphasizing that need to create a sacred space.
Right.
Clearing negative energies, setting clear intentions.
Yeah.
And of course, there's that sacred prayer we talked about.
Oh,
A
right.
key to opening the records.
The prayer itself is so fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Because it invokes not just the Akashic record keepers, but also, you know, the great divine director, Sanat Kumara, the goddess of liberty.
It's like you're calling on this whole team of spiritual guides
Right.
to assist you in this process.
It's like assembling your divine support system for this journey into the unknown.
Exactly. And the book describes all sorts of interesting sensations that people might experience while they're in the records.
Okay.
You know, some people feel a sense of peace,
Okay.
well-being, like they're enveloped in this like loving embrace. Others report feeling a pressure on their chest or a tingling sensation.
Oh, wow.
It's almost like you're stepping into a different state of consciousness.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder
no.
what's actually happening on an energetic level when we connect with this realm.
Right.
Is it purely psychological?
Yeah.
Or is there something more profound taking place?
That is a question that, you know, science may never fully be able to answer.
Right.
But the author clearly believes that we're tapping into a real energetic field that holds the records of our soul's journey.
So the book also emphasizes the importance of staying grounded and protected throughout this whole process.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a whole section on clearing negative energies.
Right.
Not just before you enter, but even during a reading.
Makes sense if we're dealing with, you know, powerful energies.
Yeah.
Got to be extra cautious.
Right. It reminds me of that saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right, exactly.
You know what I find really fascinating, though?
What's that?
The author believes that the way that we receive information from the Akashic records is actually evolving.
Oh, interesting. In what way?
Well, she says that while some people still receive messages in words, Others are experiencing information through, pictures, visions, even physical sensations in their own bodies.
Wow.
It's like our intuitive faculties are becoming more refined.
Right.
And the records themselves are adapting to meet us where we are.
That's a pretty cool thought.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And she even suggests that, like, physical symptoms can sometimes be symbolic messages from the records.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, if you're the reader and you suddenly start coughing or feeling choked up, it could be a sign that the person you're reading for is resisting that information or having trouble expressing themselves.
That's really interesting. It's like the reader becomes like an energetic conduit, picking up on those subtle blocks.
Yeah, exactly. It's a whole new language of intuition.
It is.
And remember that concept of no karma?
Yes.
Well, the author actually takes it a step further and suggests that we can use the Akashic Records to heal past life trauma.
Okay.
Release karmic patterns that are no longer serving us.
That makes sense if we think of these records as this dynamic field that we can interact with.
Yeah.
Even influence.
It's not just passively observing the past.
Right.
It's actively shaping our present and our future.
Exactly. And she describes how, like, accessing past life information can help us understand the root cause of current challenges.
Okay.
Like, maybe you have this fear of water that stems from a past life drowning. Or you keep repeating the same relationship pattern over and over.
It's like those recurring dreams that keep popping up until we finally confront that underlying issue.
Exactly.
By consciously acknowledging and releasing these past life patterns, we can free ourselves from what might feel like this predetermined destiny.
Which raises an interesting question.
Okay.
If we can change the past, does that mean the future is fixed?
Whoa, that's a big one. The author, she doesn't believe in a fixed destiny.
Okay.
She sees the future as this, like, tapestry of possibilities. And the Akashic Records are this tool for navigating those possibilities, making choices that are aligned with our soul's purpose.
Yeah.
It's not about erasing the past.
No.
But understanding it.
Okay.
Using that knowledge to empower our present and our future.
Okay, buckle up, because this is where things get really mind-bending.
There we go.
The author channels a message from beings she calls the Lords of Time.
The Lords of Time. That sounds intense.
Right.
Who are they?
She describes them as beings that exist beyond the Akashic Records.
Wow.
And have a deep understanding of the nature of time. And their message is all about how we perceive and experience time.
Okay.
They say, time is a construct. Time is not movement. Time is an illusion, not an illusion.
Whoa, okay, that's a lot to unpack.
It is.
What do you think they're trying to tell us?
I think they're challenging that whole conventional understanding of time as something that flows in one direction from past to present to future. They're suggesting that time is more like a reference point.
Okay.
A way of organizing our experience rather than this rigid, linear reality.
Right.
They even say it is a means to separate the flow of the eternal now.
The eternal now.
Yeah.
That's a concept that you hear in, like, so many spiritual traditions.
Right.
It suggests that the past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously.
Right.
Our perception of linear time is just that. A perception.
Exactly. And the author believes that tapping into the Akashic Records allows us to access this eternal now, to expand our awareness beyond those limitations of linear time.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. If we can shift our perception of time, what else is possible?
It is an exciting question.
It is.
And the author shares some pretty incredible stories about how this knowledge can be applied in, like, really practical ways.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, so there's a story about a woman who's struggling with this limiting belief about her financial situation.
Okay.
She had this deep-seated fear of poverty that was holding her back from pursuing her dreams.
That's something that, so many people can relate to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Financial fears can be so debilitating.
Absolutely. So the author opens the woman's Akashic Records.
Okay.
And the records supposedly showed her a different version of reality.
Oh, wow.
One where she was financially abundant.
Okay.
Successful.
Wow.
It was like the records offered her this glimpse of a more empowering possibility, a path she hadn't even considered.
So what happened? Did she change her belief?
That's the amazing part. The moment the woman shifted her belief, The author says the room literally moved.
Wait, what? The room actually moved?
That's what she claims. She thought it was an earthquake at first, but there were no reports of any seismic activity.
Oh my gosh.
She later asked her own Akashic record keepers about it, and they told her she had witnessed a dimensional shift.
A dimensional shift. That's pretty dramatic.
It is.
For such a,
Yeah.
simple thing like changing your belief.
It speaks to the power of belief.
It really does.
And that potential for transformation.
Yeah.
When we tap into these deeper levels of awareness.
Okay.
And now this is where it gets good.
Okay.
The Knights Templar.
Oh, yes. I've always been fascinated by them.
Me too.
What does she have to say about the Knights Templar?
She weaves them into this intricate tapestry
Okay.
of secret societies, hidden lineages, and the Akashic Records.
Okay.
It's a story that blends history, mystery, and this spiritual intrigue.
Right.
Remember, the Knights Templar were this powerful medieval order
Yes.
sworn to protect pilgrims.
Right. Traveling to the Holy Land.
Exactly.
They also accumulated a lot of wealth and influence,
They did.
which ultimately led to their downfall.
Right. Accused of heresy, disbanded by the King of France back
Yeah.
in the 14th century.
Right. But their story is shrouded in so much mystery.
Oh, it is.
There are all sorts of theories about what really happened to them,
Yeah.
what secrets they might have held.
Exactly. And the author believes that the Templars were on this secret mission to discover the hidden treasure of King Solomon.
Okay, hold on. Are we talking ancient secrets,
Oh, yeah.
lost artifacts,
Uh-huh.
hidden knowledge?
This is where it gets good, right?
Okay, I'm hooked.
The author also believes that the Templars were protectors of the bloodline of Jesus and Mary Magdalene.
Hold on a second. Are you saying that the Knights Templar knew about the true story of Jesus and Mary Magdalene,
Yeah.
including the possibility of a hidden lineage,
Right.
and were sworn to protect this secret?
That's exactly what she suggests.
Okay.
She even connects the Templars to the Cathars,
Okay.
who she believes were descendants of these early Christians who followed the teachings of Mary Magdalene.
So it's like this hidden lineage of spiritual knowledge that's been passed down through the ages.
Protected by these secret societies.
Wow.
Hidden from the church.
This is like something out of the Da Vinci Code.
It is, right.
And you're telling me that the Akashic Records hold the key to unlocking this hidden history,
That's the theory.
revealing the truth about Jesus and Mary Magdalene and their descendants.
She even claims that certain individuals, like the woman who healed the tear in the records, are playing a key role in bringing this hidden knowledge to light.
This is incredible. This whole story blends history,
I know.
spirituality,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
mystery
Absolutely.
in a way that's just so captivating and thought-provoking.
It is.
But I think it's important to remember that we're ultimately exploring the Akashic Records as a tool for personal and spiritual growth.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's easy to get swept away by all the mysteries, controversies.
Yeah,
But the real power lies in their ability to help us understand ourselves.
right. Our
Our
purpose.
place in the grand scheme of things.
I'm not going to lie, this whole Templar connection
I know it's juice.
has definitely piqued my curiosity.
I'm right there with you.
I am eager to see what else the book has to say.
Me too.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's continue our deep dive and see where this rabbit hole takes us.
We're back for the final part of our Akashic Records deep dives. And honestly,
I know.
my mind is still reeling from all this incredible stuff.
It's a lot,
It is.
but I think it's good to kind of bring our focus back to the practical applications,
Okay.
What can we learn from these records and how can we use that knowledge to really improve our lives?
Right. Let's ground ourselves in some practical wisdom.
Okay.
The book offers a variety of techniques for actually working with the records,
Okay.
including some that, might surprise you.
Oh, okay.
Like, for instance, she talks about the use of essential oils for clearing negative energies and preparing for a reading.
Oh, that's interesting. Like engaging those physical senses in our spiritual practice.
Exactly. It's not just about meditation and prayer, but also creating that harmonious environment that supports our connection to the records.
Right.
And she also emphasizes the importance of clearing ancestral patterns as well.
That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
If we're carrying the weight of our ancestors' experiences, it stands to reason that clearing those energies could have a positive impact.
Totally, totally.
And on the topic of past lives,
Yeah.
the book goes into a lot of detail about how past life trauma can manifest in our present lives,
Okay.
affecting our relationships, our health, even our beliefs.
Right, right.
She offers specific questions to ask your Akashic record keepers about past lives. Like, what are the fears I carry from past lives? Yeah. And how are those fears impacting me now?
It's all about that self-discovery, right?
Yeah.
Gaining that awareness.
It's like we're detectives of our own souls,
I love that.
uncovering clues from the past to solve these mysteries in the present.
And beyond addressing those past life issues, the book also talks about the importance of understanding the lessons we're meant to learn in this lifetime.
Yeah, she encourages us to ask questions like, what are my unique gifts and talents? How can I best serve humanity using those gifts?
It's like cosmic career counseling.
Right. The Akashic Records, if we can access them, can help us align with our soul's purpose,
Yeah.
make choices that lead to a more fulfilling life. As we're discussing all of this,
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that image of the Akashic Records as this, book of life.
Mm-hmm.
It really drives home the point that our lives aren't just these random events,
Right.
but they're part of this larger story, this interconnected story.
Yeah, I agree. It suggests there's a deeper meaning,
Yeah.
a purpose to this journey, even if we can't always see it.
Yeah. It's a lot to think about, isn't it?
It really is. And it reminds me of one of the last concepts the author introduces,
Oh, okay.
ethereal congruence.
Ethereal congruence. That's beautiful. What does that mean?
She describes it as a state of being where we become one with the cosmos,
Okay.
aligning our energy with the divine flow, living in integrity,
Right.
being authentically ourselves, expressing our true nature.
It's like living in harmony with both our inner and outer worlds.
Exactly. And she believes that when we achieve this ethereal congruence,
Yeah.
our connection to the records actually becomes even stronger. It's as if we're tuning into this higher frequency that allows us to receive these clearer, more profound insights.
That makes sense. If we're, all cluttered with negativity, self-doubt,
Right.
conflicting desires.
Right? Clouds are access.
Yeah. It stands to reason that our access to higher wisdom would be blocked.
Absolutely.
But when we're living in alignment with our soul's purpose, we become a clear channel for that wisdom to flow through.
It's a beautiful idea.
It is.
And it reminds us that this journey into the Akashic Records isn't just about gathering information.
Yeah.
It's about transforming ourselves, becoming more aligned with our highest potential, and contributing to the evolution of consciousness itself.
That's an inspiring thought.
It is, and it brings us to the end of our deep dive.
I know. What a whirlwind of information.
It's been an incredible journey.
It really has.
But as with any exploration into the unknown, I think we're left with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the point.
Right.
The Akashic Records, if they exist, they're not a destination.
Right.
They're a starting point.
Yeah.
They're an invitation to keep exploring,
Keep questioning.
keep expanding our understanding of who we are and why we're here.
Well said. And for our listeners, we encourage you to ponder this. If the Akashic Records are real, what secrets would they hold about your soul's journey? What questions would you ask, and what wisdom would you seek? The journey is yours to take.
Did you get any of that?